You're welcome to this great episode. We have this beautiful question that says find the value of m given that 2 to the m plus 4 to the m plus 8 to the m is equal to 39. Well, our first step will be for us to simplify the left-hand side. The left-hand side, we have 2 to the m plus, we have 4 to the m. 4 is a perfect squared, which means it can be written as 2 squared, and it is raised to the m, plus 8 is a perfect cube, which means it can be written as 2 cube, and it is raised to the m. This is equal to 39. Now, I have 2 to the m here. I want to make what is here and what is here to be the same, so that we can later introduce substitution. But in order for us to do that, we need to work with the law of indices that says that when I have a to the m all raised to the n, this is the same as a to the n all raised to the m. You notice that we switched the powers. Now we can also switch the position of this power. So we have 2 to the m plus, now switching the positions of the powers, we have 2 to the m all raised to the power of 2 plus the same thing, 2 to the m all raised to the power of 3, and this is equal to 39. Now notice something, that we now have 2 to the m, 2 to the m, and 2 to the m, which is what we're looking for. So we can introduce substitution by saying that let 2 to the m be equal to k. Now we can rewrite our left-hand side as k plus k squared plus k cubed. Very good. And this is equal to 39. Now let's move this 39 to the left-hand side. So we have k plus k squared plus k cubed. As 39 crosses to the left, it becomes minus 39. And this is equal to 0. Now, this 39 here is not a random number. It can be written as a sum of powers of 3. What do I mean? This is k plus k squared plus k cubed minus. Now, let's write the sum of powers of 3. For example, we have 27 plus, we have 9 plus, we have 3. That is it. This is equal to 3. Now, listen to something. That 27 is a perfect cube, which means 27 can be written as 3 cubed, right? Good. 9 is a perfect squared, which means 9 can be written as 3 squared. So I'm going to be writing 3 squared here. You see that? So this is what I'm talking about. Now, what we have here now resembles what we have here. Now, let's open up the brackets. So we have k plus k squared plus k cubed. Now, minus 3 cubed minus 3 squared minus 3 equal to 0. Good. Now, let's group them. The terms with cube will be grouped together. So I'll group terms with cube. This is k cubed minus 3 cubed. Group together plus the terms with square. This is k squared minus 3 squared. And then the terms without cube, which is k minus 3. Very good. And this is equal to 0. Now notice that we can make use of identities here, because this is difference of 2 cubes and this is difference of 2 squares. For difference of 2 cubes, we have an identity like this. M cubed minus n cubed. This is equal to m minus n times m squared plus m times n plus n squared, right? And then for difference of 2 squares, we have this identity. M squared minus n squared is equal to m minus n times m plus n. Now, using these two identities, we can rewrite the left-hand side. But let's compare something. Our m can be equal to k, which is m represents k, while n represents 3. Good. So rewriting this in this format, we have m minus n, so that will be k minus 3 times m squared, so that will be k squared, plus m times n, so that will be k times 3, which is 3k, plus n squared, so that will be 3 squared, that is 9. Good, so we're done with this. Plus, now go to the difference of two squares. For difference of two squares, we have m minus n, which is k minus 3, times m plus n, which is k plus 3. Very good. So we're done with this as well. Plus, now we have k minus 3 equal to 0. Very good. Now notice something, that k minus 3 is common. So since it is common, we can factor out k minus 3. Now let's open bracket. So since I have factored out this, I'll have this remaining, which is k squared plus 3k plus 9. Plus, I have factored out this, so I have k plus 3 remaining, k plus 3. Plus, there's an invisible one here. Since I have factored out k minus 3, I have the 1 remaining. Good. And this is equal to 0. Now let's simplify what we have inside this parenthesis. So k minus 3 times, this becomes k squared. Now 3k plus k gives 4k, right? Good. And then 9 plus 3, that's 12, plus 1 is 13, so plus 13. And this is equal to 0. Now we have two products or two factors that multiplies to give 0. So what that means is that either of them must be 0. So either k minus 3 must be 0, or k squared plus 4k plus 13 must be 0. So we have two cases to solve, but let's start with this first one. Now for this first one, to get the value of k, we have to move negative 3 to the right. And when we do that, as negative 3 crosses, it becomes positive 3. So we have the first value of k to be 3, and it is a real number. Now to get other two solutions, we're going to focus on this second case, which is quadratic. When a quadratic equation cannot factorize nicely, we either use the quadratic formula or the completing the square method. I'm going to be choosing the completing the square method because it is faster. And secondly, our equation has an even number here. So using the completing the square method, I'm going to be moving this 13 to the right hand side so that it becomes negative 13. So I'll move this 13 to the right hand side so it becomes negative 13. Good. Now I'll take care of this middle number, which is this 4. I'll take half of it. Half of 4 is 2. I'll square this and add it to both sides of the equation. So I add 2 squared, which is 4. Then add to the right hand side as well to balance it, 4, right? Very good. Now the left hand side is now a perfect square that can be written as k plus 2 all squared. This is equal to, now the right hand side, negative 13 plus 4 is negative 9. Now to get rid of this square, we take the square root of both sides. So I'll take the square root of k plus 2 all squared. This is equal to plus or minus the square root of negative 9. So the square root cancels out the square, leaving behind k plus 2 to be equal to plus or minus the square root of negative 9. Well, since we have negative inside the square root, now we leave the real numbers. It now becomes complex number. The square root of 9 ordinarily or naturally is 3. But because of this negative, it becomes 3i. That is it. So to get the value of k, we just have to move these two to the right so that we have k to be equal to, as 2 crosses to the right, it becomes -2 plus or minus 3i. So there are 2 values of k from here. We have one of them to be -2 plus 3i, and the last one to be -2 minus 3i. Remember, we've got one before, which is the first value of k to be equal to 3. So there are 3 solutions altogether. Well, if you enjoy more episodes like this, click the video below